Well, the funny thing is, within milliseconds, you will actually start experiencing pleasure. Pleasure when something bad happens to members of the other team.
Goinkara, you have the power to bring about the change in Goa.
जहाँ जहाँ ज़रूरत है, जैसे खाने की बहुत शिकायतें मिलती थी, क्वालिटी ऑफ फूड, मेन्यू, सफाई की, कोविड सेंटर्स में बाथरूम्स आर ओवरफ्लोइंग, फिर एम्बुलेंसेस की कमी, जो जो कमी है वो सारी चीज़ें डिस्कस हुई और उन्होंने, आप इलाज एक ही चीज़ का कर रहे हैं, जो वो मान लिया कैंसर पेशेंट है, कैंसर के ट्रीटमेंट के लिए जाएगा तो वो कह देंगे नहीं तुमको तो कोरोना है, तुम कोरोना हॉस्पिटल में जाओ, कोरोना हॉस्पिटल में से कोरोना का तो इलाज मिलेगा, और क्या इलाज है, वो एक पैरासीटामोल आप दे देंगे और उसको कैंसर का इलाज नहीं मिलेगा, और वो मर गया मान लिया कोरोना से, आप कह देंगे वो तो कैंसर से मरा है। तो ये मत करिए, टोटल ट्रीटमेंट करिए उसका। यहाँ की जो सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत है वो ये है कि हम ऐसे टाइम पे सेटिस्फाई हो गए जब नहीं होना चाहिए था। हमने लॉकडाउन हटा दिया, फिर जब बढ़ गया अब हम लॉकडाउन कर रहे हैं। जिस वक्त लोग वास्को में कह रहे थे कि लॉकडाउन करो, हमने नहीं किया, अब वहाँ इतना बढ़ गया, अब कर रहे हैं, तो एरर ऑफ जजमेंट है।
So what do we do? Who is capable of protecting Goa? It's you. तू कोणूय आसूं, एक शेतकार or एक सायंटिस्ट. Remember, you were born with enough intelligence.
In the Middle Ages, the kings thought they were very superior to the peasants. But a baby born to a poor peasant family was likely to be as intelligent as the crown prince, as the son of the king.
Today, Goa is in total mess. So we need to do something. If we do nothing, nothing is going to change.
हो इन्सिडेंट पळोवपाक गेल्यार हांगा 3-4 दीस जाले खंय हांगा एक मनीस पडलेलो आसा, ताका व्हरपाक कोण ना. बाजारकारान सांगले त्या प्रमाणे बाजारकारान 108 फोन केले, पुलिसांक फोन केले, कावन्सिलराक फोन केले, पूण कोणाचें हांगचें लक्ष ना हेजेर. तशेंच हांगा खूब अशे सोशल एक्टिविस्ट आसात जे फोटो घालून फेसबुकार घालता, वॉट्सॅपाचेर घालता, पूण असले टायमार कोण असो एक्टिविस्ट हांगा पावून तांकां हेल्प करता अशें कोण ना.
Don't expect so-called leaders to save Goa.
Our own imagination, our own creation. For example, if there is a Goenka, mad Goenka, who is very fond of his name, every day people should talk about Goenka, Goenka, Goenka. Such a mad Goenka. If he is really fond of only his name, then what an ego-centered person he is. What a self-centered person.
Today, we are Hindus, Muslims, Christians, mostly because of our parents. And our parents were so because of their parents. You are human first, and freedom is the highest goal of human being.
The most important thing is that political violence is not culturally endemic. We create it. And whether we realize it or not, our day-to-day habits contribute to the creation of violence in our environment. We've heard of fake news, yeah? The answer is actually really simple. We make decisions based on the information we trust, yeah? So if we trust bad information, we're gonna make bad decisions. Another interesting habit that individuals used when they wanted to produce a violent attack was that they looked at their victim not as an individual, but just as a member of an opposing team. Now this gets really weird. There's some fun brain science behind why that kind of thinking is effective. Say I divide all of you guys into 2 teams, blue team, red team. And then I ask you to compete in a game against each other. Well, the funny thing is, within milliseconds, you will actually start experiencing pleasure. Pleasure when something bad happens to members of the other team. The funny thing about that is, if I ask one of you blue team members to go and join the red team, your brain recalibrates. And within milliseconds, you will now start experiencing pleasure when bad things happen to members of your old team. This is a really good example of why us-them thinking is so dangerous in our political environment. Say I show you guys videos of different colored hands and sharp pins being driven into these different colored hands, okay? If you're white, the chances are you will experience the most sympathetic activation or the most pain when you see a pin going into the white hand. If you are Latin American, Arab, Black, you will probably experience the most sympathetic activation watching a pin going into the hand that looks most like yours. The good news is that's not biologically fixed. That is learned behavior, which means the more we spend time with other ethnic communities and the more we see them as similar to us and part of our team, the more we feel their pain. Polarization in our society is not impulse, it's learning. Every day we are teaching ourselves the news we click on, the emotions that we focus on, the thoughts that we entertain about the red team or the blue team. All of this contributes to learning, whether we realize it or not. The good news, we can still change our trajectory. We can get out of whatever news bubble we're in. We can be more mindful about the emotional cues that we focus on, the outrage bait that we click on. But most importantly, we can stop seeing each other as just members of the red team or the blue team. Because whether we are Christian, Muslim, Jewish, atheist, Democrat, Republican, we're human. We're human beings. And we often share really similar habits. We have differences, but our future depends on us being able to find common ground with the other side. And that's why it is so important for us to retrain our brains and stop contributing to violent ecologies.
गोंयकारा आयज तूं कोणूय आसूं, एक शेतकार or एक scientist. If you really care about Goa, then do something. There is a wonderful quote from Benjamin Franklin. There are three sorts of people in the world. Those who are immovable, people who don't get it, they will never get it, and they will never do anything about it. There are people who are movable, people who see the need for change and are prepared to listen to it. And there are people who move, people who make things happen. And if we can encourage more people, that will be a moment. And if the moment is strong enough, that's the revolution. And that's what we need to transform Goa. Thank you.
Mission: to save whatever is remaining of Goa. Goals: to provide free and quality education for every Goan child. To provide free and quality healthcare for every Goan. To implement zero-tolerance policies in Goa. Don't expect others to do everything. It is you who have the power to achieve this in Goa. Fight for freedom, and freedom will fight for you.